Annie Claff here at Prince George's Stadium. Excited to be joined by catching and first base prospect Ethan Anderson. Ethan, thanks so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Of course, it's your first or your second day here. So what has the transition been like? You've just been promoted from Aberdeen, so walk me through that process.
Yeah, got in here yesterday. Drove up from Aberdeen early in the morning, and it's been crazy, just moving everything along, moving out of the apartments, moving into the apartments here, and trying to figure out how things work.
So what was working for you at the plate this year and just trying to get on base?
Yeah, I think I had a good start of the year. Dealt with some injuries kind of in the middle of it, and coming back, got steady playing time, kind of shifted my approach of, going back to the baseball that, just going out there and competing and not worrying about the advanced numbers.
Defensive side of things, obviously this organization really values defensive versatility. You can kind of see that with Samuel Basayo right now, that first base catching versatility. So for you, how do you think you can bring that to the table too?
Yeah, from spring training, right when I got drafted, that's a big point of me as a player is being able to play, catch behind the plate, play first base. I haven't played outfield that much in college or before then, but, I've gotten some reps out there, continue to develop that, but however I bring value.
In terms of just as a player as a whole, how would you say you provide value, whether that's offensively, defensively, or just character?
Yeah, I like to think I'm a good locker room guy. A guy people like to be around. But at the plate, I just try to get on base. I could slug for a little bit, but just trying to put together good at bats, and just trying to be the best defender I can be at whatever position I am. Catching very valuable. I haven't spent a lot of time. Right when I got to professional baseball is when, I kind of got some steady playing time there. I think I've developed that a lot since I got drafted, so trying to bring value behind the plate.
Now I want to talk about your upbringing a little bit. You were born in Hawaii because your dad was a Navy SEAL, so you moved around a lot, and once you received your first NIL check, you donated all of that to the Navy SEAL Foundation. Can you walk me through your decision to do that and why?
Yeah, the Navy SEAL Foundation's been, a big part of my childhood. Growing up, everything they support for, SEAL families. NIL kind of bursted on the scene when I was a freshman. It wasn't really a thing, and I didn't have an idea of what to do, especially for baseball players. It wasn't as big as it was for, football, basketball. But, there was still some money in it for baseball players. And so when that happened, I had a conversation with my dad of what I wanted to do with it. And I thought donating it to the SEAL Foundation was, one of the best things I could have done. They helped me, and kind of the first time money was involved with me playing sports, I wanted to give back. At the end of my 3 years at Virginia, there was a convention in Virginia Beach that I attended. The foundation was there, and I was able to present them with a check, and that was a big moment for me.
How much of a role does your dad and your family play in the way you operate on and off the field?
Yeah, it's my whole childhood, growing up with my dad. I wouldn't say he treated the bees. I wouldn't say he treated me like a military soldier, but how he carried himself and how he went about his business every day kind of showed me what it took to be successful in any field that you wanted to be in. So that kind of upbringing, I like to think of, that's how I attack my days.
And finally, even though you did move around a lot, you did spend some time in Norfolk, so you got a chance to see Adley and Gunnar and Colton and all of those people kind of make their rounds through the minor leagues and up to get promoted to the big leagues. What was that like for you, just seeing their success?
Yeah, growing up, I lived in Virginia Beach, which is right next to Norfolk. I probably lived 20 minutes away from Harbor Stadium, Harbor Park.
Yes.
I went to a bunch of those games growing up. I was actually in college when I came home for, I think maybe after the summer, I was able to see Adley's debut in AAA, watch him get his first AAA hit, see him catch, which was really cool. I didn't realize I was going to be an Oriole at the time. And kind of once I got drafted, it's like, oh, wow, going through the minor league system, Norfolk's a place that, a lot of friends can go to. We actually played a game at Harbor Park in college when I was at Virginia, and I didn't realize, all my family friends, all their parents came in support of those games too.
It's a pretty cool full circle moment for you to see Adley, his debut in AAA. So what do you look up to him and Basayo at right now, as they're both in the big leagues, probably going to be the best catcher duo for the Orioles coming into next year?
Yeah, they might be the best catching duo in Major League Baseball right now. It's really cool to be in the same org as them, work with the same guys that developed them, and kind of being a switch hitter and Adley being a switch hitter, kind of they know how to develop that position, that kind of role as a player, and being able to work with those guys, and they have a track record of developing a switch hitting catcher is amazing.
Awesome. Ethan, thanks so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you.